Okay, good evening. This is Pat at Pat's Card Corner, and I think I got this turned on. Not even sure. So welcome tonight. It is going to be a fun night. I've got a really fun card for you today, and whoops, I gotta turn down my sound over here. You're gonna hear me twice. Anyway, I have a fun card for you tonight, and as you can see, I'm going to move my thing around here a little bit because I'm a little wonky from what I can see online. I don't want you to miss anything because I've got fun stuff for us to do tonight. I am going to use the Sweet as a Peach stamp set. You probably see me doing a lot of that lately, and that's because I like it. I've been using it a lot, and I've actually been working on a really fun 12 by 12 sampler with this that I'm going to do a class on. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you soon. So like in with the next day or two, in case anybody would like to participate. And so tonight, I'm also using the You're a Peach designer series paper, and I've already pre-cut some little peaches, but we are going to do a little bit of stamping too. I just trying to shorten the time a little bit, but anyway, so I hope you will be hope you like the project, and let's kind of get started on what we need. So I did I don't know if anybody, I'm going to stop just for a second. I don't know if anybody else is having this problem, but I have been having a really hard time getting photos uploaded to Facebook. So I'm not sure what the problem is, but I finally got it loaded, and it might have been a little late, but there is a list of supplies on there that you would need for tonight, but I am going to go over everything just kind of like I usually do. So let's get started. So obviously we're going to need a little bit of ribbon. This is, I don't know, about 12.5 inches, but we don't need that much. I just kind of grabbed a little bit and just kind of cut it off, so we will need that. And you might have thought that this is a little unusual if you saw the directions, that you didn't see a piece that said 5.5 by 8.5 or a piece that said 4.25 by 11, because those are the two sizes we normally use for a card. But this is a very special card, so the piece that you need, this is basic white cardstock. This is not the thick cardstock. This is just the regular basic white, and you'll see why we don't need something that's thicker, because there's quite a few layers. So with using this, it's going to be plenty thick enough, and we do want it to fit into our envelope and not have to pay extra postage. So we are going to use that, and this piece is 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, and next we are going to need 3 more pieces of basic white, and these are the 3 pieces, and these are 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And then we're going to need some designer series paper. So when I'm going to move these little things out of the way because they're getting in the way. All right. Going to move these. So we're going to need, you can choose any 3 patterns you want, but you are going to need 3 different patterns of your designer series paper. These pieces are also 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. I'm going to write that down because I didn't write it, and I normally keep everything up here so that you know what they are. So these 3 pieces are 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. Your other pieces of designer series paper that you're going to need, you want to coordinate with the papers that you have, the other ones. So this one coordinates with this, these 2 coordinate, and these 2 coordinate. So you're going to want to, for these pieces up here, which are 2 inches by 4 1/4, you are going to want to have pieces that actually go with your other ones, because they're kind of going to be paired together, if that makes sense. So I hope that makes sense. So you're going to need 3 of those. You'll also need 1 extra one, and I just chose this pattern, and you'll also need this piece, excuse me, is also 2 by 4 1/4. Oh, that's right. Did it? Yeah, I told you right. I'll put that on here too. And you'll need one more piece, just a coordinating strip, and that piece is going to coordinate with this one, and that piece is 3/4 by 4 1/4. So if you notice, everything is kind of by 4 1/4. So I'm going to put that right there. Okay, and then you're going to need a couple pieces that that you can use to put sentiments on. I just cut some pieces from the Stitch So Sweetly Dies. I'm going to move these over so we can, there's 3 of those. But you can use any size rectangles. There's another little piece. And you'll see when we're making the card, and then I have a couple just other things. If you're stamping, you can just stamp those. You don't have to have them cut out. But anyway, but I did for my card. So these are all the pieces that you need. I'm just going to leave those up here just for a second, and you can take a look at them. If you need the sizes for these, they are in the description. And when I put this whole card on my blog, you'll see all the measurements will be there too. So if you're watching tonight, please say hi. Let me know that you're there and are actually watching. So anyway, we are going to get started. So you will need your trimmer, and of course I can get mine out, but fortunately it's right next to me. And I'm going to move these pieces out of the way. The piece that we're going to score is this large piece here, which is 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. So you can move all your other pieces out of the way. And then we're going to get started. And I've made 2 of these cards already, which I really like it. They're really fun. And I did figure out a little shortcut for, not a shortcut, but an easier way, let's put an easier way, of putting part of it together. So you're going to get the easier way to put it together tonight. So aren't you lucky? All right, so we're going to take this piece, which is 5 3/4 by 4 1/4, and we're going to get our handy trimmer, score, and we're going to, let me take this off. We're going to be scoring on the long side. So you want the long side across the top, and we're going to be, the first place we're going to score it is at 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to put it on 3/4 of an inch. I've already moved my scoring blade out of the way, or cutting blade out of the way, because we don't want to do that. We're just going to score. So this is 3/4 of an inch. And then we're going to move over to 1.5 inches, and we're going to score again. And then we're going to score it at 2 1/4. And we're going to, the last one is we're going to score it at 3. Okay, so if you've noticed, we have scored them all 3/4 of an inch apart. So the first one is 3/4, the next one is 1.5, the next one is 2 1/4, and the last one was at 3. Okay, so I'm going to just move that out of the way. And I can see I have a shadow. I'm not sure where my shadow's coming from. Let me try moving something real quick. I think that helped. Okay, so now we need our bone folder, because where we've scored it, we're just going to fold it up and then crease it really good on all of those folds. And of course I had to go get mine, so I thought I was prepared tonight, but evidently not. So we're just going to crease on each of those folds, just like that. And I guess, you know, I could show you the card we're going to make. We are going to be folding it up so it looks like that. And we're going to be putting glue on the end of the flap where it folds in, and we're going to just fold it around and glue it together just like that. And then I'm going to show you the card. So let's put a little bit of adhesive on there. So remember, you want it on the outside where it's folding in. So I'm just going to put a little, and I like to use my multi-purpose glue or Tombow glue for that. And I'm just going to fold it around, kind of curl it up and place it down. And you can flatten it like that just to give it a really good, so it adheres really good, and then that way you know it's also going to go the other direction. So this is actually kind of the base for our card. And I'm going to show you the card now so you can kind of see where we're going to be going or what direction we're heading. So this is a really fun card. So this is our card. If you can see, here's the little, this is a little part. We're going to add the other pieces of basic white that we had, and to make this pinwheel. So this is a pinwheel card. So when you look at it, it looks like this, and then you turn it, and now you have another It's Your Day, have another one, have a Peachy Day, and the last one, Let's Celebrate You, and then goes back to the beginning for Happy Birthday. So it can stand up on its own like that, and when it stands up, you can kind of see the different sides. I know it's hard to tell. Here's, if I turn it this way, you can kind of tell. So that's what we're making tonight. Oh, hi Louise, how are you? Glad you joined me. All right, so now we're going to take this piece and we're going to add the other pieces. So I did figure out though that when I first made it, I attached all of the these little pieces. I'm just going to put them on there just so you can see how they're going to go. Oops, I knocked it over. All right, so they're actually going to kind of go like that. But I realized that it's easier to attach the designer series paper to each of these first before we glue them on. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to need our 3 pieces of basic white, and now we're going to need the 3 pieces of that were 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. That's my last one. We're going to need our 3 pieces, and we're just going to attach them directly onto here. So they should match all the way around. So we're just going to glue them right on. And now you know why we're using just basic white, because we are having a bunch of layers and it is going to be folded on top of each other. This will fit into a regular A2 size envelope because the card, when it's finished, is actually 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, just like all the other cards that we make, or I make. Anyway, you might be making different size cards. I do make different size cards sometimes. So, hey Laura Lee, how are you? All right, this is a fun card, I think. It's fun to make, and I think it's be fun for somebody to get, just because it's a little bit different, and you know, they got all different sides to look at. So I'm going to take that piece off because I don't need that. And right now, maybe it's up. No, I had to think for a minute, because these pieces I think are, yeah, which one do I like better? I like this one better. All right, I confused myself there for a minute. Stampin' Up paper, as you know, if you've been looking at their paper at all or have used it, is double-sided, and they have matching patterns on both sides. So I have obviously used a pattern that's for one side, and then I'm using the other side right there for one of the other panels. So we're just gonna, so right now we're just gluing these together, and then we're going to start attaching them to the card. And I think it's easier to do it this way only because it's easier to attach it now before you've put them onto the card. So the other part that you want to figure out is, when you're doing it, is what order you want to put yours in. So I wanted my blue paper to be first, because once you turn it, you'll see that your papers are going to match one of the other papers that's on there. And the blue just didn't kind of go with some of the other things. It goes with this one because that's a plain color, so that's why I wanted the blue to be my front piece when I was making it. So we are going to start attaching those, and so I'm just going to flatten that out so I know which one I want to be this one. I'm going to start with this. So I'm going to start on the opposite side, and then we're going to kind of go around. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to put the glue adhesive on the your little, I guess you want to call it a box. We're actually going to put it on the box and then just adhere our paper to it. And you do want to make sure you're doing it, all of the pieces are right side up, because I almost did mine upside down. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. So if you want to, you might want to kind of lay out which ones you want to put on there. And we're just going to attach that, and you want it to go all the way to the end. You can kind of see which side I put mine on. It really doesn't matter. I mean, it's just going to fold up. I just kind of started with this one. And you do want it to go all the way to the edge. This is why I use the glue, so I can slide it a little if I need to. So there's one. All right. Let's see what I did here. All right. And this is going to be the next one, because when I fold mine down, it's going to look like that. So I'm going to just kind of flatten it out. I want to put my glue right there. So I have to attach it. You can, if you want, just attach all the white ones first and then put your paper on second. I just think it's just a little bit easier to get it on this way. So again, you want to make sure that you're right at the corner fold of your little box, and if you're not sure, if you fold it the other way, oops, then you'll know that it's not sticking where it's not supposed to. Did I do that right? Oh no, I didn't. Hold on, I didn't even do that right. I'm telling you wrong. Ugh. I put it on the wrong way. Hello. I think because I started in the wrong spot. Yep, I did. I started in the wrong spot, so I gotta take mine apart here. Sorry. Hopefully you haven't done yours yet, because otherwise you're gonna be just like me and put it in the wrong spot. All right. What am I doing wrong? All right, I'm doing something wrong that I don't want to do wrong. Let me figure out what I did wrong. I think I have it upside down. That's what it is. All right. Now I got it. I had it upside down. There is a right side and an upside down side. So you're going to want to start with it this way and put glue on this one. All right, ever see people make mistakes? Well, here you go. I'm going to move that one out of the way. So I'm just going to put this back on. There we go. All right, now I got it. Phew. All right, this one is going to go this way. Make sure that's on really good right there. So the next one is, so when you're putting them on, you will have this little small piece right there. I'm going to put some more glue on here, which is the other reason I use glue, because it's easy to come off. It will still work. I'm going to have to film this again just so people don't get it wrong the first time and have to tear theirs apart like mine. All right. Then the next one is going to go here. And you can see now that we have the pinwheel in the right place. So So I'm just going to flatten this out. Put a little glue right here. And put this on. Hold it back so I know I've got it in the right spot. And there we go. Make sure that one's on there really good. And just going to press it down really good. Make sure I get it. It's all good. So there we go. So now we have our 4 sides and we flip it. And now we're going to put on the smaller pieces. Okay, so these are the smaller pieces that I have. So this one is going to go right here, and I didn't cut that one right for some reason. Hold on. Nope, I didn't. But we're gonna just put it right in the middle because it'll be fine. All right, so this one, you want to put your ribbon, we're going to wrap our ribbon around. So we're actually going to wrap it around this piece, and I'm just going to wrap it around like this and put a little bit of adhesive on the back so I can then cut the ribbon, and then I'm going to show you. So, and then I'm just going to put a bow on it. You can wrap it all the way around and tie a bow. I just find that this is just a little bit easier to do. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive right in the center, and I get it to work. I am. And then I'm just going to put my ribbon right on there. This is the back side, and I'm just going to wrap it around and it'll adhere right there. So there you go. Whoop. And whoop, I got glue on my hand. Okay, I'm going to move that out of the way. And then you're just going to adhere your piece right there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back. It's going to go on right there. Just like that. Oops. Okay, then we're going to fold our card and flip it. And then, let's see, this piece is going to go right here. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back of that. I'm just going to put that right there. So you do kind of want to line it up with the sides so that it's even. And we're going to flip our card one more time, and then this is the third piece. It's going to go right here. All right, I hope I haven't confused anybody yet. And you're going to want to make sure it goes to the edge. If you flip it over, if it's hanging over a little bit, if you didn't cut it quite right, you can always trim it. So that's not a problem. It's going to go right there, and then we're going to flip it one more time. And this is the side where you can write your message. If you want to, you can leave this whole thing blank, except for you will need to put a piece right here. And that's because when this one is flipped, you do want to, instead of it being white, well, I guess you could leave it white, but I just think it looks better with a little bit of the designer series paper. This is the piece that is 3/4 by 4 1/4, and we're just going to glue it right to the edge right there. And so this part, this is where this other piece is like an optional piece, If you want to have a lot of room for writing, then you would just leave that off. If you don't, like me, I'm just going to put it right there, and I'm just going to leave that open for writing on. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that on there. And now we have our 4 sides. I'm just going to checking it on the other side to make sure it's, and now we're ready to do a little bit of decorating, as I call it, or adding our sentiment. So you can add any kind of sentiment you want. I decided to make this a birthday card, so that's how I'm doing mine. But you can do however you want. This is where I'm going to put in on my bow, so I'm just going to tie a bow and put it on with the glue dot. So if you wrapped your other piece around and tied the bow, of course you can skip this part because you already have a bow on there. So, excuse me. Wait, I didn't do that right. Let's try that again. I think it got twisted there. There we go. Much better. Make it even here. And I have lots of tails here, so I'm going to just cut some off. And some off that side. And then I'm just going to put mine on with the glue dot right there. The one thing that you are not going to need to use on this card, and if you know me very well, you'll know I love dimensionals, but you do not need to use dimensionals for this project because it would make your card really bulky because so many of the layers are folding on top of each other. If you use dimensionals, it would be kind of hard to keep it closed because you can already see. So if you're putting more on it, it's going to be pretty fat. So it might have a hard time getting in the envelope. So you don't really need to have dimensionals for this card, which is not normal for me. So since I'm doing a birthday card, I'm going to grab one of these, and this one is, in case you want to know, it's about 2 1/4 by 1. So that's how big this one is. And the colors of ink that I am using are Calypso Coral, and I'm going to be using also Pear Pizzazz, which are 2 of the ink colors that are in this stamp set. And I'm going to show you the front of the stamp set. So this is the front of the stamp set. I'm going to be using the Happy Birthday, the Have a Peachy Day, the It's Your Day, and Let's Celebrate You. And I'm also going to be using the peach, this leafy part, we're going to just stamp part of it, and these little peaches here, and this little stem right there. So I'm using quite a bit on here. You can also trying to think where that one goes. Hope your day is as, oh, sweet as a peach. Duh. I was trying to figure out where the end of that sentence was. So if you're using this one, you can say, hope your day is as sweet as a peach. So, all right. I had a blank moment there for a minute. So I am using Calypso Coral. I am going to stamp this. My ink pad is really inky. And sometimes it looks a little dark, so try not to make it too dark. Just going to stamp right in the middle. And then this one, I'm just going to put right here. Let me put it here, right in the middle. And I'm just going to glue that down. As soon as my glue comes back out, there we go. And I am going to come back and put a little bling on this one at the end, so just so you know, it's not going to be plain. All right, then I'm going to flip to my next side. And this one, I'm going to use this smaller piece. This one is 1 3/4 by 3/4. So if you just want to do just a regular rectangle, it's 1 3/4 by 3/4. And this one I'm going to stamp on It's Your Day. And I'm also going to stamp that in the Calypso Coral. I think I'm stamping it upside down, but you know what? I did, but the magic of flipping it over. This one is going to go on this side because I'm going to put something a little bit bigger on that side. You'll see. So I'm just going to kind of put it right in the middle. Tear that down. And then I'm going to take one that's a little bit bigger. This is the 1 1/2 by 2 3/4. So it's 2 3/4 by 1 1/2. But I am going to turn it this way. So, and we're going to do just a little bit of stamping. These are some leaves. I'm going to move that over here. And try not to put my hand in it. This is the Pear Pizzazz, and this is like a little leaf. It is going to go over the side, but I'm just going to put it kind of, maybe, where do I want it? I want it like this. So it's going to go over the side because I'm going to put 2 little peaches on it. So I know it looks a little funny, but when you get the little stamped peaches and you put them on there, it's going to look like that. So these I already stamped. These, the little peaches. So you just need a scrap, and you can, this is the Calypso Coral. You just need to stamp. And if you have the dies, you can die cut these, or you can just fussy cut them with a pair of scissors. So for the sake of time, this is what it would look like. If you fussy cut them, you end up with these. And then I'm just going to just glue these right down. If I was doing a regular card, I would probably put these on dimensionals. But because I don't want the extra bulk in my card, I'm just going to do it. Hey Karen, you're in Oregon. What are you doing there? I didn't know you went to Oregon. I thought you were somewhere else. You must have taken a quick trip out there. And then I'm just going to put it on the card like this. I am putting it in a little bit because when I fold it up, I don't want it to show. So that's why I'm putting it closer to the middle. So I'm just going to glue that down, just like that. And now we're going to flip it, and we're going to decorate one more side. So this one, again, I'm going to use another one of these, and this is, I forgot already, 2 3/4 by 1 1/2. We're going to do it the long way again because it's going to go right here. Actually, it's going to go right here because I kind of like this paper. I don't think it needs a whole lot of extra to it. So on this one, I'm going to stamp Have a Peachy Day because it is for someone's birthday. And I'm going to stamp that in Pear Pizzazz. So I'm going to actually move this out of the way. And we're going to stamp that at the top. Oh wow, you have a lot going on down there. Okay. Well, I hope you have a safe trip home. And then I'm also going to I stamped a peach on another piece, and I'll show you that real quick. I did go ahead and fussy cut that out. If you wanted, you could just stamp it right on here. You don't even have to cut it out. But the reason I did is because of the leaf. But you can do some masking, and this is the little leaf. And you would stamp that in green. Just like that. You can fussy cut that out also, if you wanted. So, but these are the two pieces. That's what they look like when they're stamped. I am going to attach this with a glue dot, just because it's easier than glue and not as messy. But you are going to want to put the glue dot on the front, so you're going to turn it upside down and put your glue dot on, and then just kind of attach it however you'd like. I have ink on my hand already. And you do want to fix it so that your stem is not covering up your Have a Peachy Day. So there we go. So I am going to just put a little bit of glue on the back. And I am going to let it hang over the bottom. It's okay, because it's going to go right there. There's still plenty of room for it. I'm going to move this. I know I'm going to stick my hand in it. Just have a little bit more stamping to do, but I know I'm going to stick my hand in it. I'm just going to flip that over, put some glue on it. And I'm just going to put that right there on the green side. If you want, you can put some peaches over here. You can pretend one of your peaches is hanging on there, or you can put some of your little ones on there if you want, but I'm actually just going to leave it just the way it is, because I think the paper is enough. I don't think it needs really any extra. And then we have one more side to do, and that's this side. You can decorate this if you want. I didn't. I just left mine plain. I did stamp on here, "Let's Celebrate You," and even though it's bulky, I probably should have done that before I put the bow on. It will stamp. Where's my "Let's Celebrate You"? I don't think I took it off my thing. I didn't. It's still in my stamp set. Let me take that off. And then we're going to be done. And I think I'm going to stamp it in green, since everything else is yellow, or not yellow, Calypso Coral. Here we go. And you still have room to write your little message. And now we're back at the beginning. And I am going to put some sequins on here. And I chose sequins because sequins are kind of flat. These are, let's spread them out. These are sequins that from the Artistry Blooms suite of, but they have colors that match. So there's this, blue, and there's like, actually I like the paler color a little bit better. So, and then there's ones that are obviously a little bit darker that you would use, but these kind of go really well. So I'm just going to take a couple off and do a little bit of decorating over here. You can also decorate some of your other ones if you want. So, see, I like the littler ones better for this. So, just going to throw a few on here and see how we like it. And we're going to throw some up here just to kind of decorate our little peaches down here. Actually, it's funny, this one right now looks blue because of the backing on it, but it's actually this color, but it's picking up the other color, so isn't that interesting? So I'm going to throw one up here, and if you want, you can put some on your other sides, and now your card is all done. You just kind of keep flipping over and over, and there you go. There's your card. So that's what it looks like when it's standing up. If it's standing, you'll be able to see more than one side from where it's standing. And it is flat, so it will fit into an envelope. So I hope you liked the project today. And if you go back and watch it again, now that you've already watched it, and I'm going to put a little warning on, at the very beginning, I attached one of the things to the wrong side. So it wasn't quite going to be a pinwheel from where I started, because I didn't start in the right spot. So just try not to do that, and there's your card. So I hope you have fun with this. It's kind of like a never-ending card. You just keep flipping. You can use this with all kinds of different stamp sets. I made this with one of my other friends, and she used the snail mail stamp set, and it came out really cute. She had little snails on it and stuff. So you can use all different kinds of cards. So I'm glad you like it, Louise and Cruz. I didn't know you were watching. So good to see you again. We've missed you. So have a great night. And I hope you try this with some other papers and see how you like it. And just kind of keep playing with it. I know I just can't stop flipping it. It's just kind of just fun. Okay, so have a great evening, and I will see you next week for another Therapy Thursday, because, you know, life is getting stressful, so I need my crafting time to relax. So, yes, you are not the only one who makes a mistake. I do it all the time, and if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll see, yeah, she makes mistakes, but, you know, we correct them, and we just keep going, and our cards are all good, and you know, it's just the fun of making them. So have a great week, and I'll see you next week.